is my property!
The handcuffs clicked shut around Maya Reynolds' wrists before she ever raised her voice. She didn't fight, she didn't beg. She didn't ask the officers to believe her. She simply looked at the iron gate behind them, the gate leading to 20 acres of land that legally belonged to her, and took one slow breath. Officer Derek Cole mistook that silence for weakness. That was his first mistake. "You're being detained for trespassing," he said. Maya turned her head slightly. "On my own property," Cole gave a short, dismissive laugh. "That's what we're going to determine." "No," Maya replied calmly. "You already made your determination." The words landed harder than shouting would have. It was 8:16 on a Saturday morning in Cedar Ridge, Georgia. The neighborhood was the kind of place where large homes sat behind stone walls, private gates, and carefully maintained lawns. Maya's property stretched nearly 20 acres beyond the entrance, a mixture of wooded acreage and open fields. She had purchased after years of saving and planning. She knew every inch of it: the oak trees, the gravel road, the old barn near the back fence, the small creek that crossed the northern boundary, and the legal documents that proved she owned it. Officer Cole knew none of that. He had only seen a black woman standing beside a locked gate in an expensive neighborhood. And apparently that had been enough. His partner, Officer Megan Price, stood beside the cruiser watching the exchange. "More carefully, ma'am." Price said, "We received a complaint that someone was unlawfully entering the property." Maya looked at her. "I'm not someone." Price frowned. "I'm the owner." Cole stepped between them. "Can you prove that?" "Yes." "Then prove it." Maya reached toward the inside pocket of her jacket. Both officers immediately moved their hands toward their weapons. She stopped. Her hands slowly rose. "There is no reason to draw your weapon. Keep your hands where I can see them," Cole ordered. Maya nodded. "My identification is in my jacket pocket." Slowly, she carefully removed her driver's license and handed it to him. Cole examined it. "Maya Reynolds." "That's correct." He looked at the address, then at the massive property behind her. "You expect me to believe you own this place? I don't need you to believe me." Cole looked up. "What?" "I need you to verify it for a moment." Neither officer spoke. Price glanced at the address again. Something about Maya's confidence bothered her, not because it was aggressive, but because it wasn't most people confronted by two police officers. Early on a Saturday morning would be nervous. Maya wasn't. She was alert, controlled, almost as if she understood something they didn't. Cole handed the license to Price. "Turn around." Maya stared at him. "For what? We're detaining you while we investigate." "I haven't committed a crime. You've been reported for trespassing. Then verify the property records." "That's not how this works." Maya's expression hardened slightly. "It should be." Cole stepped closer. "Ma'am, don't make this difficult." "I'm not. You are no officer." "I'm asking you to do your job correctly." Price lowered her eyes for the first time. She seemed uncomfortable with where the conversation was going. Across the street, an elderly woman had opened her front door. She recognized Maya immediately. She had watched the woman clear brush from the property, meet contractors, and drive through the gate for months. But she wasn't sure whether she should intervene. Maya noticed her. She didn't call out. She didn't need rescuing. She understood something that every good law enforcement officer should understand. Authority is strongest when it is exercised with evidence. Restraint and respect, not assumptions. Officer Cole reached for his handcuffs. Turned around. Maya slowly complied. The first cuff closed around her wrist. Click. The second followed. Click. The sound echoed against the quiet morning. Cole leaned closer. "You're going downtown until we figure out who you are." Maya looked straight ahead. "You already know who I am." Cole smiled. "I know your name." Maya said nothing, because there was a difference between knowing someone's name and knowing who they really were. And Maya Reynolds had spent years learning that difference. Her phone remained inside her jacket. It had already transmitted one encrypted message. Contact made. Another message was scheduled. 30 minutes. She didn't need to threaten the officers. She didn't need to shout about her rights. She didn't need to announce her position. She simply needed to remain calm long enough for the truth to catch up with the people who had decided they already knew it. And as Officer Cole pushed her toward the patrol car, Maya quietly reminded herself of the lesson that had carried her through years of difficult situations. When people underestimate you, don't waste your strength proving them wrong with anger. Let the facts do it, because dignity is not surrender. Calm is not weakness, and sometimes the most powerful person in the room is the one who refuses to lose control of herself. Officer Derek Cole pushed the cruiser door open and motioned toward the back seat. "Get in." Maya stood beside the vehicle, her wrists still secured behind her. The morning sun had climbed higher, warming the pavement, but she barely noticed it. Her attention was fixed on the details around her. The second patrol car, the neighbor watching from across the street, the teenager quietly recording on his phone, and Officer Price, who looked increasingly uncertain about the arrest. Maya knew something important about moments like this. People remembered how you responded under pressure. A frightened person might scream. An angry person might fight. A reckless person might turn a bad situation into something dangerous. Maya chose none of those. She looked at Officer Cole. "I'll cooperate," she said. "But I want you to understand something. You are making a mistake." Cole smiled. "Everyone says that I'm not everyone." He opened his mouth to respond, but an elderly woman's voice suddenly carried across the street. Officer Cole turned. The woman stood on her front porch, still holding her coffee mug. "I know her," Cole sighed. "Ma'am, please stay on your property." "That's what I'm doing," the woman pointed toward Maya. "She owns that land." Cole's expression hardened. "How do you know?" "Because I've lived here for 12 years. I've watched her come and go. She bought the property last year." Price looked at Maya. "Is that true?" "Yes." Cole shook his head. "Then she can prove it at the station." The elderly woman stepped closer to the sidewalk. "Why take her to the station if you can verify it right here?" Cole's jaw tightened. "We're conducting an investigation into what the woman asked." Cole didn't answer. That silence said more than any explanation could. The teenager across the street continued recording. Maya noticed the phone. She didn't ask him to stop. She didn't ask him to defend her. She simply looked at him and gave the smallest nod he understood. "Keep recording." Officer Price approached Maya. "Ma'am, do you have anything with the property address on it?" "I can access the county property records on your phone." "Yes." Cole immediately interrupted. "You're not using your phone." Maya turned toward him. "Why?" "Because you're under detention. Being detained doesn't automatically give you the right to search everything." "I own." Price looked at Cole. "She has a point." Cole's face tightened. "Price, I'm just saying we should verify the ownership before we transport her." Maya looked at Price. "Thank you." Price nodded. There was no smile between them, no friendship, just a small acknowledgement that doing the job correctly mattered more than winning an argument. That distinction mattered. Police officers were given authority because communities needed protection, not because citizens were supposed to surrender their dignity at the sight of a badge. A badge should create confidence that the truth will be investigated, not fear that assumptions will become facts. Cole reached toward Maya's jacket identification. "You already have my driver's license. Anything else?" Maya hesitated. Then she carefully nodded. "There's another card in my wallet." Cole removed her wallet and opened it. Credit cards, insurance information. A photograph of Maya standing beside an older black woman, a small business card, and behind her driver's license. Her black credential card with a gold emblem. Cole pulled it out. His eyes narrowed. "What is this?" Maya's expression changed for the first time. "Give it back." "Why?" "Because it isn't relevant to your trespassing investigation." Cole turned the card toward the sunlight. There was no obvious agency name on the front. Only a small gold eagle. Price leaned closer. "What's the emblem?" Maya looked at her. "Something you don't need to worry about." Cole smiled. "Now I definitely need to worry about it." Maya's voice remained low. "No, Officer Cole. You need to verify the property records." He slipped the card into his pocket. "I'm holding on to this." Maya stared at him. "You shouldn't," Cole laughed. "You keep saying things like that because you're making decisions you may not be able to undo." The teenager across the street whispered into his phone. "Guys, this is getting crazy." His recording continued. Cole suddenly noticed him. "You there, stop recording." The teenager froze. Maya immediately spoke. "Officer, he's standing on his own property." Cole turned toward her. "Stay out of it." "I'm not interfering. I'm reminding you that recording police activity in a public setting isn't something you can simply order someone to stop doing." Price looked uncomfortable again. Cole pointed toward the teenager. Put the phone down. The teenager didn't. Maya remained silent. She understood something that had taken years of experience to learn. Courage wasn't always loud. Sometimes courage was simply refusing to let someone else's authority convince you that you had no rights. Then Maya's phone vibrated inside her jacket once. Twice Cole heard it. Who's calling? Maya didn't answer. Give me the phone, no. Cole stepped closer. You don't get to refuse. Maya looked directly at him. You haven't established probable cause to search it. Price immediately looked at her partner. Maybe we should wait for the supervisor. Cole ignored her. You're going downtown. Maya took a slow breath. Then call your supervisor first. Why? Because when he gets here, he's going to ask you the same question I've been asking. What question? Maya looked toward the gate. Why didn't you verify that I own the property? Cole stared at her, then he reached for his radio. Dispatch, request a supervisor to my location. Static answered. Maya remained completely still inside her jacket. The phone vibrated again. This time she didn't need to look at the screen. She already knew what the message would say. The first part of the plan was moving exactly where it needed to go. The supervisor arrived less than 3 minutes later, but by then the atmosphere on the street had completely changed. Sergeant Marcus Hill stepped out of the 3rd patrol car.
I believe this clears up any questions.
Closed the door behind him, and looked first at Officer Cole, then at Officer Price, and finally at Maya. His eyes stopped on the handcuffs. What's going on? Cole answered quickly. Trespassing complaint. She refuses to cooperate. Hill looked at Maya. Ma'am, is that accurate? Maya shook her head. No, Sergeant. I've cooperated with every reasonable request. Cole interrupted. She claims she owns the property. Hill looked toward the enormous tract of land behind the iron gate. Do you? Yes. Can you prove it? I can. Hill nodded. Then let's verify it. Cole immediately stepped forward. We were already taking her downtown. Hill turned toward him. Why? Because she was refusing to comply with what? Cole hesitated. Hill's voice became firmer. Derek, what exactly did she do? Cole looked at Maya. She was argumentative. Hill stared at him. Being argumentative isn't trespassing. The elderly woman across the street nodded. That's what I've been saying. Hill looked toward her. Mom, did you witness the incident? I saw enough, Cole sighed. She called herself the property owner. She is, the woman replied. Hill looked back at Maya. Maya remained calm. Sergeant, I understand you're trying to establish the facts. That's exactly what I've been asking them to do. Hill appreciated the difference in her tone. She wasn't demanding special treatment. She was asking for ordinary treatment that mattered. A police officer's job isn't to decide who deserves respect before investigating the facts. The job is to gather those facts, protect everyone involved, and make decisions based on evidence rather than appearance, assumptions, or pressure. Hill looked at Cole. Take the cuffs off. Cole's eyes widened. What until we establish probable cause for continued detention? Cole hesitated. Maya didn't move. Then her phone vibrated. Hill noticed. Is that your phone? Yes. Can you show me the property records? Maya nodded. If Officer Cole returns my phone. Hill looked at Cole. Derek. Cole reluctantly handed it back. Maya accepted it and unlocked the screen. She opened the county property database. The screen showed the parcel number. Then the legal owner's name, Maya Reynolds. Hill leaned closer. Cole stared at the screen. Price quietly whispered, "It's her." Maya turned the phone toward Hill. The property taxes are current. The deed was recorded last year. Hill nodded slowly. That settles the ownership question. But Cole wasn't satisfied. Could still be stolen property. Hill looked at him. How? Cole didn't answer. The teenager across the street lowered his phone for a moment. Did he just say her property could be stolen? Maya heard him, so did everyone else. Cole's face reddened. Stay out of this. The teenager raised his phone again. I'm recording. Maya looked at him. Keep recording. Cole turned toward her. You seem awfully confident. Maya met his eyes. I've learned that when people are determined to misunderstand you, the best response isn't anger. She paused. It's evidence. Hill studied her carefully. There was something unusual about her. Not arrogance, training, discipline, experience. His attention shifted to the black credential card, still in Cole's possession. Derek, what is that? Cole looked down. I don't know. Maya held out her hand. Please return it. Hill frowned. What kind of credential is it? Maya hesitated. Federal. The word seemed to stop the entire street. Cole laughed nervously. Federal what? Maya didn't answer. Hill looked at her. Ma'am, are you saying you're with the federal government? Maya looked toward the road. Sergeant, I'm asking you to let me make one phone call. To whom Maya's phone vibrated again. She looked down. A message appeared. Authorization received. Proceed. Her expression remained calm, but something in her eyes changed. She looked directly at Sergeant Hill. I need you to ask Officer Cole one question. Hill turned. What question? Maya's voice was quiet enough that everyone had to listen. Who made the trespassing complaint? Cole's expression changed immediately. Hill noticed who called. Cole looked away. An anonymous resident. Maya nodded. That's what I thought. Hill frowned. What do you mean? Because there was never supposed to be a legitimate trespassing complaint. Cole stepped forward enough. Maya didn't flinch. The call was designed to bring you here. Hill's face tightened. Why? Maya looked toward the gate. Because someone wanted to see whether the police would question a black woman before checking the facts. The street went silent. Price looked at Cole. Cole looked at Hill, and suddenly the incident was no longer just about a property dispute. Maya's phone vibrated one more time. She glanced toward the road. 3 black SUVs were approaching in the distance. No sirens, no lights. Just dark windows and government plates. Hill slowly turned toward them. Cole's confidence disappeared. Price took a step backward. Maya finally allowed herself the smallest smile. Not because she wanted revenge, because she knew the truth was finally arriving. The first SUV stopped. A tall black woman in a dark suit stepped out. She looked directly at Maya, then at the handcuffs, then at Officer Cole. Agent Reynolds. Maya nodded. Director. The woman opened a black credential wallet. The FBI seal caught the morning sunlight. Cole stared at it. Hill's face went pale, and Maya looked at the officer who had refused to believe she belonged on her own land. Officer Cole, she said quietly. You asked me who I really was. She paused. Now you know. But the most important lesson wasn't that Maya was an FBI agent. It was that she had never needed a badge to deserve dignity. And that's where I'd love to hear from you. What would you have done if you were Sergeant Hill? Would you have immediately verified Maya's property records, or would you have followed Officer Cole's decision? And if you could choose, what happens next? Tell me in the comments. Should Maya expose the officer publicly, or give him one chance to take responsibility and change? Because stories like Maya's aren't really about winning an argument. They're about what happens when people in authority remember that a badge is a responsibility, not a license to judge. And when a black woman refuses to surrender her dignity, sometimes the most powerful thing she can do is stand calmly. Tell the truth and let the evidence speak for itself.